to So Help Me. This is a show where we help the beginning sower learn some fun sewing techniques. And today I have with me my daughter, Libby.
Oh,
say hello.
I'm blocked by the...
No, it's the Serger though. It's a good thing. We need that thing on the Serger.
Okay.
So today we're going to be talking about fabric flowers. And fabric flowers, we're going to do 4 different kinds for you. And you know, there are so many fabric flowers out there that really we're going to do 2 shows on fabric flowers, because we're going to do a spring and summer show, which is this one. And then we will be doing a fall and winter show maybe later on. So here are our fabric flowers. If you want to look right here, set that down. Thank you. We have some folded gathered flowers. We have some Serger lace flowers. We have some Rickrack flowers, these cute little itty bitty ones. And then we have some yo-yo flowers. And I'm going to show you how to do all of those. Are you ready, Libby?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
What should we start with?
Can we start with the little ones?
The little
itty bitty cute ones?
Let's get a close-up of those and bring those over here and talk about our supplies first of all. Thank you. Here are the little Rickrack flowers. Aren't they absolutely darling? They're little Rickrack daisies. To make these, you're going to need 20 inches of Rickrack, and you can just buy a package of Rickrack. Now I will tell you, the larger the size of the Rickrack, the easier it's going to be.
Oh, that's good.
Because this size Rickrack is the yellow one, and this size Rickrack, which is probably your standard, is the little, oh, he's kind of toy-y. Sorry about that. Is the little one. And that one was a little bit more difficult to work with. So I would recommend starting out with a large size Rickrack. Okay? And you will need some long milliner's needles. These are actually used by hat makers.
Oh,
pretty cool, huh?
We're going to make hats the next time?
I don't, well, I suppose we could try. Not sure.
Wool hats. We'll make wool hats.
Wool hats in the summer. Good
Yes.
plan. Yeah. But they're long and sharp, and that's what I like about milliner's needles. And polyester thread. You want a good quality, long staple polyester thread. Cotton thread's going to break on you, and the cheapy stuff is going to break on you. So get some good quality thread. Also, when you do hand sewing, I still like the thread conditioner, and you just open this up and push your thread right along there.
It's like a wax. It's like resin for violin bows.
Yeah! Very good.
All of my years of playing violin that I hated finally pay off.
You hated?
I mean, I loved it.
There you go. That's the right answer. Okay, so for the Rickrack flower, I'm going to start out, ooh, these can probably go back. Okay, I'm going to start out with threading a hand needle, and I'm going to start sewing right here on the top, just to the left, or is that the right? Sorry, just to the right of the top of the hill of the Rickrack. And you're going to go in, out, in, out, in, out, over and over and over again.
So it's like a really big stitch.
Yeah, so that you get, and when you get to the end, you're going to end on the front side. All right, now here's the magic. Are you ready? You're just going to pull this up.
Oh my goodness, it's a magic show too.
It is. And there you go. There is your Rickrack flower. Now obviously I'm going to have to do some more. And you shape it around a little bit. And then once you get it all around together, you're going to sew it together and put a little button in the center.
Aw, look at that.
Isn't that nice? Okay, so really those are relatively easy. That's your Rickrack flower. Did you like that?
I loved it. I love the magic part.
I knew it. I knew it. Here's the Rickrack flowers. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is talk about the Serger lace flowers. And the Serger lace flowers, you're going to need a serger for that.
Oh, is this what we're in the forest?
That is a serger. Yes.
I feel like it's a forest, only it's a forest of thread.
It's a forest of thread.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I do what I can.
And these are the branches?
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
That's the sky.
That's the sky? All right, whatever. Okay. So let's talk about the supplies we need for the Serger lace flowers. And if I could have one of those, that'd be great. Thank you. This is a sample of the Serger lace flower. And we do have it. Could I have the other one too?
The pink one?
Yeah, thanks. This is done with thick thread, and you can see how thick that is. And that can only go through the loopers of your serger, your upper looper and your lower looper. And this is a variegated purple thread.
So are you going to explain where these loopers are in the machine?
Well, if you have a serger, you should know where your loopers are. If you
Are
don't,
these loopers?
we have, no. No.
I have a serger and I don't know what loopers are.
You have this serger. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I don't actually thread it. You do.
This one threads by itself, so we have to worry about it.
Okay, that's way too complicated.
Okay, so this is the thick thread. This is actually a thin embroidery thread, and you can put those in your loopers as well. We'll do two different kinds of those. Okay, here is what you need for your serger lace flowers. A well-running 4-thread serger, and it does need to be 4 threads. Okay, you need 2 spools of decorative thread, thick or thin, so you can choose which one you want. 2 spools of matching thread for your needles. The decorative thread is going to go through your upper looper and your lower looper. You need 1 strip of fabric that is 1 inch by 15. So actually you can just rip a strip of fabric for that. This is a little bit wider, but I needed it wider in order to show you the sample. Or you can use 1 5-inch circle, the 5-inch diameter circle. Okay? Is that 5-inch diameter?
That is not 5
no,
inches.
that must be a 5-inch circumference. That looks more like a 5-inch
Yeah.
circumference. Sorry about that, 5-inch circumference. Okay. I like to use kite string for my gathering, and what I do is I zigzag over top of it, over top of my kite string, and that's how I gather it up, and we'll show you that with the gathered flowers as well. Or you can take long hand stitching needles just like we did on the Rickrack as well. Okay, so that's what you need. Now let's go to the serger. Thanks. What I have in my serger now is the decorative threads on the upper looper and the lower looper. Okay?
I thought these were decorative.
Those are decorative
nope.
too.
These are the hand stitching ones.
No, you can put those in your serger.
Oh.
You can put the thick ones in your serger. Yeah.
I learned something new today.
It is pretty amazing. And I have the same actually decorative thread on my 2 needles. And you do need to use both needles. You don't want to use a 3-thread for this one. You have to use all 4. Okay? Okay. So here's my long strip of fabric. And basically, you are just going to run it in. And you can see that I might have a little bit of extension on my stitches.
Is that okay?
That is what I want on my stitches. See how I've got extension coming off the edge of my stitch? That's what I want. All right. You know what? This is way too long because it's going to take us forever to do this, so I'm going to cut this off.
Okay. Our sample is being cut short.
Yeah. So I'm going to get to the end of this one here. And when I get to the end, what I want to do is put my foot up and pull straight back to get it off the pins. And I'm going to actually flip the whole thing.
Ooh, we're getting complicated.
And now I'm going to put it back in my machine, but I want to line it up so that my needle catches my extension.
So we're not cutting anything off, we're just adding to.
Right, we are not cutting anything off. Great observation, Woody.
I was always a great observer.
Very proud of you. Okay, so now let's look at that. Now we've got 2 lines of stitching on there. Okay, so you just keep doing that over and over and over again. Just keep flipping it and sewing on the edge. Now, I will tell you, it is a whole lot easier to do serger lace on the straight.
On the straight?
Yeah.
On a straight piece of fabric?
On a straight piece of fabric, yes. But sometimes, oh, see, here, this is what I want you to see. This happens sometimes. And you know, that's okay, because all you do is put decorative thread in your sewing machine and do a zigzag and stitch it together. They'll never even see it.
And it'll even look prettier.
Yeah.
This is where it benefits you to screw up.
Okay. All right, now the circle, little bit more challenging. Okay?
I think we're all up for a challenge.
Okay.
And so help me.
Okay.
If you can help us.
Okay. I am going to line up my outside needle with the edge of my fabric. And this gets a little bit tricky. So I'm going to have my needle in the fabric, and I come around and I actually put my foot up over and over and over again. Can you see how I'm doing that?
Ooh.
So that I'm sewing right on the edge. Now the circle, obviously, you don't have to flip.
That's convenient.
Because you just keep going around in a circle.
Now what do you do with this then?
Oh, you cut it off.
Oh, you don't, okay.
You just cut it off.
All right.
Yep, and you just keep going around and around and around. And again, if you have trouble, all you're going to do is zigzag it together. See, like right here, I went off. So all I'm going to do is zigzag that together. Now there's one thing that I want to tell you. If you look, you can see already over here, you can see how it's kind of waving. Okay? That's because what's happening is my feed teeth are actually pulling those stitches apart. So you have, I don't know if you've ever sewn on a serger.
I have too.
Okay. And the fabric has stretched and you've gotten a wave in the fabric.
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing is happening with those stitches. Even though it's not getting any bigger, the feed teeth are actually pushing those stitches apart.
Oh, is that bad?
Well, if you don't want that kind of lettuce leaf effect, I did.
Oh.
Okay, but if you don't, what you're going to do is activate your differential on your serger to a plus factor at least to 1.8. And you can you see how it's gathering right there? That's because my differential now is activated. And now it's going to go straight.
Oh.
So that's how you get rid of that. Okay. Let's tear this off here. Okay, there we go. So this,
and it's magic.
This is what you end up with. A circle with a bunch of thread around it. And I zigzagged right here. I went off there. I went off a bunch of times. And now you're just going to take it and pull it together. And there you go.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Or you could use it as a powder puff.
Okay.
Not so much.
Cannot be effectively sanitized, so you can only use it on you.
Okay. Thank you, Broody School person.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Here is a sample of one that's done on the long piece of fabric instead of on a circle. And this is the difference. This is done on a long piece of fabric. This is done on a circle. It's easier actually to shape the one on the long piece of fabric than it is on a circle. But let's go ahead and pull this up. I've already zigzagged over top of my kite string here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Oh, wrong piece. Wrong end. Wrong end. I sewed through one end. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. And you can see how it's nicely gathering. And what I like about the kite string is that it holds its gathers. If you do this with a basting stitch, a lot of times it doesn't hold the gathers.
I feel like it would snap.
Well, yeah, that happens too. Then you've got it halfway done and shoot.
Let's start all over again.
Exactly. So when you zigzag over something like this, it's going to hold its gather a little bit better. And then when you're done with that, all you're going to do is take it and roll. And roll on the gather.
Oh, that's pretty.
And then see how you can get it so pieces of it come out. And it looks more like a flower, I think. And you can shape it out a little bit so you can make it look like a rose, or
you can do it with different fabric other than this lovely green we have here.
Well, this is supposed to be the bud part.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for that. Here, let me just throw my flower at you.
Oh, it's such a pretty flower.
Thank you. Okay, so those are the crocheted lace ones. Now we can put this down.
Oh, good. We're not in the thread jungle anymore.
No. Okay, the next one that we're going to talk about is the gathered flower. For that, let's go back to our supplies here. You're going to use a 2 by 36 inch piece strip of flower fabric. Now, I like using kind of the lining or silk. Silk Dubioni is beautiful if you can afford that kind of stuff, but that is beautiful when you're doing this. But I like the lining fabric because that holds up better. I can shape it better and it waffles better. I like the way that works, okay? And then you need a 4 by 4 inch square of felt as your base to put stuff on, all right?
Is that actually 4 by 4?
You know, it could be. I think I might have even measured
that. Good job.
Thank you. And then you're going to use polyester thread again. If you want to do it by hand, gather by hand, you can use the milliner's needles. And I'm going to show you the difference between the two. Let's talk about the feet that you can use for your machine to zigzag over that kite string. It's just a couching foot. There's a lot of different feet that are available. These are all couching feet that you can use, and any one of them that will hold up, that will hold a piece of string. Whoa! he's gone. That'll hold a piece of string in place that you can zigzag over. Okay? And when you zigzag over it, you get, whoa, something that looks like, let's find a spot, here we go. That looks like that. Can you see that I've zigzagged over that? Well, sort of, you can. And then you're just going to pull it up and gather it up. Okay? Now let's actually look at those flowers. All right? Shall we do a close-up here, or is it easier here? What do you want to do? You can hold them up. This one I did with sewing, and I did it so that, you want to hold on to that? So that you can see it's a little bit more gathered than the other one, than this one right here. Boy, it's hard to see with that black, isn't it? Sorry about that. This one I gathered on machine. This one I gathered with hand stitches. So my gathers are bigger stitches and closer together. This gives a little bit more like a peony flower.
Oh, so this one's kind of more open and this one is kind of more scrunched.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was looking for, only I couldn't get it out. Sorry about that.
Oh, well, that's okay. We all have our days.
Thank you. Okay, you can also, when you gather this up, what you're going to do is you're going to shape it. You're going to start in the center. Let's get a close-up over here. You're going to start in the center, and I like using the glue gun. Boy, you can hardly see that. You're going to start in the center, and you're just going to roll it around. And I like using the glue gun instead of doing a hand stitch because I could hold it better.
Oh.
But if you use a glue gun, use a stick. Don't use your fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Ask me how I know that.
Were your fingers a little warm afterwards?
Yes.
Were they sticky?
Yeah, a little burned.
Oh, good.
Yeah, a little painful. So then you're going to just wrap it around, and then in the end, you're going to cut off the excess. Just pull it through to the back. Pull your stitch to and tie it off like you normally would hand sewing, okay? And then in the center, you can put little beads if you want to, or for the big one, I like the large gemstones that match the color of the dotties. And then another thing that I tried was this flower right here. This flower is the same thing, but what I did is I sewed eyelash yarn to the edge.
Oh.
I zigzagged eyelash yarn right on the edge, and then I gathered it up just like normal.
So you have an eyelash flower.
This is more of a carnation.
Oh. It's your favorite flower.
It is.
So if you ever want to send Miss Barb flowers, you know what to send her now. All of your adoring fans.
Yeah, there we go, because I've got so many.
Oh, yes you do.
Okay, so that is the gathered flowers. We have one left, and that's probably the easiest one of all of them, and that's called the yo-yo flowers.
The yo-yo flowers.
Let's go over what we need for the yo-yo flowers. This is a yo-yo flower right there. Isn't he cute? He's so cute. You need a circle of fabric that is twice the size of what you want the finished flower to be. So this one, what did you say? That's probably about 1.5 inches. So this one would be probably 3.5 inches total circle. Okay, so you need the circle of fabric twice as large as you want the finished flower to be. This one you do have to gather by hand with your milliner's needles. Again, polyester thread, and then buttons if you so desire. All right, so I do have one started here. Let's go over that. And what you're going to do is you're going to take hand stitches all along the outside of this. I should have done this in the dark thread.
Big stitches or little stitches?
Big stitches.
Like a basting stitch?
Yeah, like a big basting stitch. So I would say this stitch is probably, bigger than 1/4 of an inch, a little bit more, maybe 3/8 of an inch.
A centimeter.
Okay.
Let's go metric.
Okay, that's good. A centimeter. A centimeter up, and what you're going to do is you're going to go in and out and in and out. So I'm going to go in and out and in and out like that. That's how I'm going to take my stitch.
Oh, so that's how you do it faster instead of just doing
Yep.
up and down and up and down and taking 20 minutes.
And you're going to go all the way around. So I'm going to finish this off. Here's my knot right here. I'm going to take this and go in and out a little bit past my knot. So that's going to be my last stitch. Okay, now you ready for the magic?
Yes.
I know you love
ready
magic.
for the magic.
Stitch your finger in the center and pull.
Uh-oh.
Well, you do have to get your finger out sooner or later.
Oh.
and it makes a nice little cup, and you just keep pulling and pulling, and there we go.
Don't forget your button.
There. Pull out the edge. Just a minute. There. Now you can use this side if you want to, or you can use the other side, because I do have some variations on the yo-yo flower. Let's look at those just a minute. This is a puffy flower, and I use the other side. This is where it was gathered. And all I did was stick some batting inside there and then cinched it up. And then I used my decorative serger thread to make petals.
Oh, that's pretty.
Thank you.
Looks like you can use it for a pincushion too.
Yeah, we love pincushions here on
it's
So Help Me.
multi-purposeful.
So this one is kind of squishy and puffy. I do have one other one there that's not so squishy and puffy. I like this one too because I use the other side. I use the right side of this one. And I do have a little bit of mousse in there. So if you want some dimension to your flowers, you want 3D flowers, you can do that with the yo-yo. Now one more thing I do want to show you, and that is called the Yo-Yo Maker. These are relatively new on the market, but they are kind of easier to use. You're going to get a square of fabric that is bigger than the inside piece of your yo-yo. You're going to take this outside. It comes in two pieces. It comes like this. You're going to push the two pieces apart. And you're going to take this, put it under, and then snap this guy in. And if I flip this over, it actually gives you stitching marks. So all your stitches are going to be exactly even. Isn't that nice?
That's nice.
So it makes it a lot easier to do, and it makes it a lot easier to do the teeny weeny ones. The big ones you don't really need it for, but the teeny weeny ones, and they have different shapes of those too. They have
Look at
hearts
the teeny weeny ones.
Isn't he cute? So we hope you've enjoyed our summer and spring flowers session. We hope you make some flowers. If you have any questions, you can reach me at www.stitchwoman.com.
And you
Say
can
hi
even
to
put them in
Libby.
your hair.
Yes, you
It's
can
the
put
big
them in-
thing.
It is the big thing. So, did you have fun?
I did.
Thank
It was
you.
lots of fun.
Thank you so much for coming on with me.
Yes, I am stand-in Deb.
Yeah, we love you. And remember,
Keep looking up.
Bye-bye.